So, moving on, our next presenter today is Vitor Rodrigues, the Technical Director for Iberia and LATAM, or Latin America, at GCL SI. Vitor will talk about GCL's innovations along the value chain from silicon to modules to the carbon data platform. Welcome to TaiyangNews, Vitor.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity. Thank you. So may I start to share the screen?
Yes, please.
Please let me know if you can see the screen.
We can just move to the presentation mode.
Yeah. Okay. So again, hello, good morning. I'm here basically, we are seeing a lot of discussion about technology, so I will speak a little bit about technology, but my main focus will be on the carbon emissions and the carbon platform. But before that, let me just introduce a little bit GCL. So GCL is not just a module supplier. I think that in this room, we all know quite well what is the main activity from GCL. So besides module provider, in the solar sector, we are very known as one of the main silicon providers, and I will speak a little bit about that. But in China, we are also one of the biggest energy producers. So it means that we also understand quite well the business of an IPP and some of our main clients on the solar business. Focusing in our solar sector, as I said, we are vertically integrated from the mining of the silicon, and this is our capacity. So we are going through a year where the overcapacity is a topic, the pricing drop is a topic. So in our case, we estimated even to double the capacity of the modules to 60 gigawatts. But for the moment, we are keeping the 30 and see how the market reacts. But we are ready at least to double the capacity when it makes sense. We already took the decision that we are not manufacturing P-type PERC cells anymore. So if we have any demand, we have them qualified and certified, but we will buy them. And regarding the silicon, so GCL produces two types of silicon, the Siemens process, but also the FBR. This is our quantity, so 400,000 tons, from which we consume, I would say, 8–10%, and the rest we sell to the sector, as we all also know. So my proposal for today, after presenting the company, is basically to speak a little bit about our products, what we are seeing in the market, the technology innovation, and then focus on our carbon platform, because this is the main topic for today. Okay. So as I mentioned, in our case, we are totally vertically integrated from the mining to the modules. And this is also an advantage from the from the carbon emissions, and also from the technology point of view, because we can control the chain. And mentioning one of the first real impacts that we can see also along the chain is the fact that by using FBR silicon, we are reducing the emission, the CO2 emission, but we are also reducing in 75% the power consumption. So it's become more and more usual that the FBR plays a very important role, and this is our strong bet from the last 10 years in research. So this is having also a very positive impact, like I will show in the carbon emissions. Focusing on the technology and going a little bit in the line of the discussions in this webinar, and we have been discussing the cell technology more or less since 2020, that we have some innovations. We had the passing from P-type PERC to N-type TOPCon. Now we start to discuss tandems, heterojunctions, and so on, back contact. So besides also the module design, I think this was quite an interesting discussion, and it's still on regarding what design. I saw also in the chat some questions about the currents, the voltages for the inverters, but also the manufacturers of the trackers, of the structures, need to understand a little bit better the designs, and we have a little bit more harmonized solutions to make the compatibility on the PV projects more easy. That's why we know that we try to harmonize at least the dimension of a PV module for the actual market. we have this agreement. I think that most of the manufacturers right now also offer this dimension, even if then we have to use different designs. But this slide is mainly to also maybe focus and be even more strong on what we are saying now. We see the market trends like N-type TOPCon right now. The wafers are getting thinner, yes, and also the large size modules and cells at least are having a very interesting market, and we see that the back contact can penetrate now. I will speak what we will see also to get in line with the discussion here for the upcoming times regarding technologies. But right now, if we are focusing N-type TOPCon, this is our portfolio. Okay, so what we try to do is there are manufacturers that say big cells no. There are manufacturers that say small cells are not enough. In case of GCL, we try to have a comprehensive portfolio, simple but comprehensive, so that we can also achieve solutions for all the needs. For example, we have our standard module with the M10 cells, 72 cells. So just to give you to guide you, when I say NT is N from N-type, T from TOPCon, 10 M10 cells, 72. So this was the base design. And when we wanted to go to the harmonized dimension, we see also some cell dimensions like 182 times 191.6. We thought about that design, and then we decided to change the number of cells and go to the rectangular cell, 210 times 182. Okay, it's better for our manufacturing process. We can control it better, but also we see a more balanced model with the advantages. And for example, when we speak with our clients and we need to understand which type of project they have, we have to consider several factors, like, for example, what type of inverter, what type of structure, mechanical loads, number of modules per string, and so on and so on. This module, I consider it very balanced, because by changing the cell to a M12 based cell, even if it is rectangular, we have a little bit higher current, but we have lower voltage. So this module allows us to install more modules per string than the basic one. Okay, and it's still not that big because it fulfills the harmonized dimensions, what means more compatibility with the structures and the trackers, but also more resistance to mechanical loads. Okay, and then we also have the typical M12 cells based module with 66 cells, so our big module. For example, in Spain, we saw a big demand of this module. Now the available land in Spain is changing, so maybe we need to be more creative to offer other solutions inside the portfolio. But this module with lower voltage and higher current, and now we don't think that the higher current is a topic anymore, because we see solutions from the inverter side in the market, but is the biggest module with the most output power. Okay, we also have in our portfolio designs for the distribution market. For example, Germany has some limitations on the size of modules that you can install on the rooftops and so on, so we need to adapt. And we can offer also from our basic standard module the 78 cells. So we put a row more of cells, and to give you some more idea, we keep this design because we have still a high demand in Brazil for these 78 cells models. Okay, so basically our portfolio is quite simple but quite comprehensive, and we can offer higher voltage or higher current, higher mechanical load or lower, depending on the project needs. Okay, I'm going a little bit faster on the technology because, like I said, our main topic for today is the carbon platform. I just wanted to show what we are doing. So we are also looking to other technologies. We are also investing a lot in R&D. We will also launch the back contact series in the beginning of next year. So back contact is a technology that GCL will also bring to the portfolio. But our main bet, and I heard the discussion this morning about heterojunction, tandem, what is the future? We have already a Perovskite module certified. We exhibit both the single Perovskite and the tandem Perovskite modules in Munich in Intersolar. And this is our main bet. So to give you some numbers, we expect to achieve during this year 28% efficiency, and we estimate to achieve 30 to 32 next year. And we probably will anticipate the release of this module to our first estimation. In the beginning, we thought that we would start the first projects with Perovskite tandem in 2026, but now we have 2 gigawatts of production prepared for next year. So as soon as we achieve the efficiencies that we estimate, we will contact, we did already, some of our key clients, and we will run pilot projects with our key clients. So real projects with real clients, but in a limited pool of clients for the first pilot projects. This is what we expect to be able to deliver and perform in the end of 2025. And in 2026, we will increase the capacity according to the market needs and open for the rest of the clients that are interested in at least to evaluate the use of tandem. So the dates are a little bit anticipated. Like I said, we are working a lot and hard to be able to have these pilot projects by the end of next year. Okay? Besides all the technology, we are also looking to special applications. So floating is also an interesting topic in several countries. And now what we are doing is together with the Ocean Sun and other providers also have solutions for membranes and for offshore floating applications. Okay? So going to the main topic, the carbon data platform. This is becoming one very critical point in the solar sector. So we need to be very aware of that. We have agreements, we have new directives, new laws. For example, in 2026, we know that Europe will also have standards and directives to control the emissions. We are not sure exactly about what will be the result of that directive, but we know that it will imply taxes on high emission products. So we need to act, and we need to look to the carbon emissions with a different perspective. So what we are trying to present here is our system, our management system, how we manage, monitor, and we will reduce the CO2 emissions. We know that the silicon materials are one of the main responsible for the emissions, so we need to act on that, but the idea here is to act in the entire chain, okay? So this is a summary of what we consider is the carbon management system, so GCL carbon management system, where we have to act on the emissions, but we also have to have real data, traceable data, reliable data, so that we can also, for example, when we speak about emissions trading, this is something that we also are preparing to do, that we already have the blockchain together with some provider to help us and support us to enter the blockchain, because we see that in the future this will be a very interesting topic, but all the data has to be very traceable and reliable. And that's why we look to the entire supply chain, and we have providers like and partners like QV Ryland for the traceability. Okay, so we want and we are ready to present to our clients traceability reports done by QV Ryland for the entire supply chain, starting from the metallurgic silicon to the modules. Okay. This cannot be done alone, so we are doing this also together with the new system management system certifications. So all the certificates then can act on put it in more transparent and more reliable. Together with our provider, we are working on that. Okay. With this, we came to what we call Zero. So Zero is our traceable module where we are acting to reduce the emissions, to have more clear data, but I think the key idea here is the transparency. So in our modules in GCL now, we have, and we are putting a QR code, and this is probably the big topic. And this QR code is to guarantee the traceability, but mainly the transparency when we send the products to the market. For example, by scanning this QR code, you can access to the product information. I'm speaking about certificates, data sheets, and so on. the emissions information. So you have the detailed information by process, and you have the overall of the emissions, and also the traceability. We need also to think that ESG is one of the biggest topics today for the investors, for the lenders, and so on. So the transparency here on the tracking, where do the materials came from? This is something that you can also, as a client of GCL, get from a scan, okay? So the product info, the carbon emissions, and the traceability. We are present in the 14 of the 17 global schemes regarding ESG, regarding emissions. And of course, we are working with consultants to be as ready as possible and link this to our management, carbon emissions management system. We have our first results that we are very happy with them, very glad with them, but this is not enough. So it means that this is not a one-time task. We have to keep improving, keep reducing, keep tracking, so that we can also improve for the future. And what we defined in this GCL, it's an internal process that we call NEXT. So I give you an example. For example, we are present in the RE100 with some goals, with some targets, but internally we assume the same responsibility, but with stricter and harder targets and aims. So this is what is the next, is our own internal scheme for us to make sure that we will overcome the schemes that we are present. We have already defined our strategy. So we are speaking, for example, of innovation, of tandem, of perovskite, all of the new developments, all of the new researches already enter inside of the carbon emissions management system. So we are considering not only what we have, how to improve, but also for the future, how can we improve and develop technologies that will have less emissions and aim for the neutrality. And I finalize with this. So we have already the development plan on stake. We are now on Cyro 2.0, and it means that along this year, next year, we estimate to achieve the stage 4.0 and have the management platform working properly. Okay, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Vitor. That was a very nice presentation, and your carbon data platform is very interesting to know. I think we'll take that up in the panel more, but just wanted to understand, what is the bottom cell for your tandem module that you're using? Can you share the bottom for tandem module?
Honestly, I cannot right now. Okay, this is a little bit strange, and I apologize for that. We had the module exposed in Munich, but we were not allowed to give any information. We even wanted to have the module in Europe for a couple of months more, but since it's under the R&D of China, we are now a little bit not allowed to give too much details, okay? So on a private mode, if the participants have questions about the perovskite, they can contact me directly, and I can share with them some values, some ideas that probably they will get what we are doing, but not openly, sorry.
No, I can understand, but thank you so much. So you can probably take up the questions in the chat. I can see there are some coming up till we meet again in the panel.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.